Hello friends, in this video we learn about decision making and looping. In the earlier video we had the discussion about various control structures that a programming language like C can provide. These control structures help to make a decision based on which a specified set of statements will be executed as part of the program in execution. Now, we are going to see a different situation where we expect a set of statements to be executed repeatedly until a condition is satisfied. This could be achieved by looping structures. There are three types of looping structures in C. They are while loop, do while loop, and for loop. In while loop, the structure of the loop may be like first, along with the while, a condition is specified, followed by a set of statements that make the body of the while loop. So, when the program in execution comes to the point where this while loop is encountered, the associated condition is being evaluated. If it is true, it means if the condition is satisfied, then only the program execution control enters into the loop. Now, all the statements that are made part of this while loop are executed. When the execution of all the statements of while loop completes, the controls just comes back to the beginning of the while loop. Again, the condition is checked. If the condition is true in the second case also, then the while loop statements are repeated for execution. When this execution completes, again the control goes back to the while loop. Once again, the condition is put to test for validity. If it is true, program execution continues with the while loop statement block. This repeats this process of executing the same set of statements that are a part of while loop repeats as far as the while condition is satisfied. At the moment the while condition fails to satisfy, then the while loop is exited and all the statements that follow the while loop will continue as part of the program execution. Now, the second loop structure is do while loop. Here, do statement comes and followed by the set of statements which make a part of do while loop. At the end, while presents with the association of some condition. So when do is encountered as part of program execution, the control of execution simply enters into the do loop and all the statements are executed once. When the execution of do loop statements complete, at the end it encounters while where the associated condition is evaluated. If the condition is satisfied, it means if the condition is true, then the control is sent back to the do and all the statements repeat for execution. When the execution completes, once again the condition that is tied up with while will be put to test. If it is satisfied once again, then the statement block of do repeats. This process continues as far as the condition that is available at the while, which is at the end of the do loop, is satisfied. When the condition is evaluated to false, it means when the condition is not satisfied, then the do while loop terminates and the statement that immediately follows do while loop is executed as part of our program execution. So if you see while loop and do while loop both perform the same thing. It means they repeat the execution of the associated set of statements as far as the condition is satisfied. But the difference is in the while loop, the condition is tested first and based on its validity, the control enters into the while loop for executing the while loop statement block. In case of do while loop, the condition is put to test at the end of the loop. So while loop is entry controlled loop, do while loop is exit controlled loop. If in case of while loop the condition is not satisfied, then it is just skipped. It means if the condition is not at all not satisfied at the very beginning, the while loop is not at all executed. Whereas in case of do while loop, the condition is put to test only after executing the statement block of the do loop. It means that even if the condition is not satisfied in the very first instance, but at least once do loop statement block is executed. That is the difference between while loop and do while loop. And in case of do loop and while loop, we may not be able to say the exact number of times the statement block is repeated for execution. If we know in prior the exact number of times the statement block should be performed repeatedly, in such a case we can directly go for executing for loop. The structure of for loop will be like this: for loop and initialization part, condition part, and increment or decrement part. So when the for loop is encountered during the program execution, the control will take care of initializing the for loop variable, which is used as a counter variable or for other purpose. Then this variable is put to test for a condition, which is a second part of the for loop. If the condition is true, for loop continues to execution. Once the for loop completes the first iteration of statement execution of its body, then increment or decrement will take place. After increment or decrement completes, once again for loop continues with executing its statement block. This process repeats up to the specified number of times a particular variable reaches that is associated with the for loop. So this is the discussion of while loop, do while loop, and for loop. So whenever you are asked to present the discussion in the examinations, clearly make note of the brief discussion of while, do while, and for loop, and present the syntax for each and the corresponding flowchart, and give a suitable example and made your clear cut write up for each and every looping structure. We will meet in the next video with a different concept of C.